Hi YouTube, welcome to Danette's Kitchen again. I'm just going to do a brief update on what's happening in the city of Minneapolis. As you already know, most of the nation knows about the Derek Chauvin trial, and all of this resulting from the incident that happened with George Floyd last year where he lost his life. My previous video, I was talking about an active shooting happening in my area, which still has not been reported on the news yet, but they have been reporting that Dante Wright, a 20-year-old young man, was shot and killed by allegedly killed by a Minneapolis police officer a few days ago when he was pulled over and asked to step out of the car, and there was a scuffle. It's all over the news. I really haven't been watching the news much lately, but when I did watch the news, I watched the local news and they were saying one thing, and I watched the national news and the story was not exactly depicted the same way. So since I wasn't there and I didn't visibly see what happened myself, I don't know what to tell you. All I know is that there's a lot of really, really hurt and angry people on both sides of the fence. And we're just trying to keep things cool and calm in Minneapolis so that this isn't a repeat of what happened last year after George Floyd's death. Today, I believe there were 3,000 National Guard members deployed here, and on my way home from work, someone told me that they had seen the National Guard at like 50th and Lindale, which is a distance away from where I was going because I work relatively close to home. But on my way home, I did see several Army vehicles and more than 9 people in their military uniforms. That's all that I know for sure. I'm only like a mile away from work, and to me that seems like a lot for such a small space. And there's different community apps where people can find out about what's going on around them. And you know, here locally we have the Nextdoor app, and I think that that's available in some other parts of the country where it will tell us what's happening right within your neighborhood or in the surrounding neighborhoods in your vicinity. We also have an app that's called the Citizen app that alerts us to crime or other situations going on. And this afternoon, the Citizen app reported that there was a robbery at 33rd in Chicago, and police were responding. But I don't know about police responding, but there's definitely a lot of National Guard around, and I haven't heard any sirens today, although the other day there were lots of sirens, and as I mentioned, the active shooter in my neighborhood, in the Powderhorn neighborhood, and apparently a few people were shot in the Phillips West neighborhood as well the other day. Now, the city is trying to be proactive, and they're trying to be safe, and they're trying to do everything in the most positive and transparent way possible so that people know what's going on and that we can take heed and be careful. You know, if there's a curfew, please abide to the curfew. I think last night about 60 people were arrested that had violated the curfew. The curfew last night was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. this morning. The curfew the night before was 7 p.m. till 6 a.m. Tonight, currently there is no curfew for the city of Minneapolis, but Champlin and I believe Brooklyn Center or Brooklyn Park or some other outlying areas do have a curfew for this evening. Right now, Minneapolis, there's just a whole lot of uniformed presence, And hopefully that will just keep things calm and there will be no more breaking into stores. You know, people had been like crash and grabs, I guess you call it, breaking into stores and breaking into pawn shops or wherever and taking whatever they can and run. Um, and there's really no need for all this mayhem because that is not um, showing that you're concerned about the incidents that happened over the weekend or even the incidents from last year. That's someone showing that they really do not understand how to properly express grief or loss, or maybe it's just someone that just wants to get over on people and take advantage of people and steal whatever they can. Um, the government has given 3 sets of stimulus checks, and even if people only received 1 or 2, you've received something. Why destroy businesses that we need to keep things going here? Why take away from the small mom and pop businesses that are trying to create a future for themselves, their children, and their grandchildren? Just something to think about. I am going to talk to you a little later. I'm going to try to get a meeting with the city to find out some safety updates, so maybe I can have something more positive to share or more information to share to help us all out. Have a good evening. Be safe.